Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match on the map Open Warfare. I'm standing in the bottom right position playing as the Allies. So this is one of those maps that has lots of ore and lots of gems, so we'll be able to get some big armies. Now, from the bottom right, what I'm going to be aiming to do this game is expand upwards, because if I expand upwards, then what you have is in the middle of the map there's quite a big ore and gem patch, so that'll give me a lot of resources, so I will be wanting to take control of that. First of all, what I need to do though is take the infantry out, get some infantry north just to guard the bottlenecks. I also know that two players usually spawn in the bottom of the map, so I was just going to the left just to see if there was a player there. And also there's some like a gem patch if you go to the very bottom left of the map, and you can see actually a green player is there. And he's just deployed his MCV, so he's started a lot later than everyone else. So I don't know what he was doing there. But what I'm going to do is, I think he's quite a new player, so I'm just going to leave him and let him play. And it might bite me in the neck later on, but there you go. I like to let him have a game, so we'll let him play for now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be building that service depot, because I know that green's the closest player to me. He's been delayed, so I'm just going to use this opportunity to build some MCVs so that I can get a faster building speed of structure, and that'll really help me with expanding to the middle. Now what I'm going to assume is that the other two players are at the top of the map, top right and top left corner, and that's quite often what happens. You get like 4 players spawning in all 4 corners. I'm probably going to need to be... Oh, and we can see that Cyan is there with some infantry trying to get some scouting in. He's passed through a bridge, which is on the left side, just to the left of where my infantry are. So I've missed that. And soon, what I'm going to get is I'm going to be getting those MCVs out. And as soon as I deploy those, I'm going to be getting a faster building speed. And what that does is when you have those construction yards, it increases your building speed by twice as much. And what I should have done there is pause my ore refinery building and start it again just to get that speed building bonus. Although it doesn't actually matter because I don't have enough ore at the moment. Once I get this next ore refinery up, it'll make things a bit easier, because you can see the ore patch I've expanded to has quite a lot of gems on the outside, so I will get some good ore off that. And what I'm doing is I'm just sending my ore trucks just to collect the gems a lot more, because once you get gems are a lot more valuable. I think they're worth twice as much as ore, so if you get gems it makes things a lot easier. So that's what I'm doing with those ore trucks, where I'm sending them. And I'm just going to start scaling up my economy now. Once I get these next 3 ore trucks loads in, it should make things a lot easier. And you can see how valuable those gems are. I've got about 3k ore now, and I can start building tanks also. And what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to be trying to get this next construction yard further to the middle. Also get a radar dome down so I can see what's going on. And you can see there's a nice little bottleneck there. And what I'm going to do is just fit through there. And you can see how fast I can build now. It's a lot faster. But what I can see on my radar dome is there is a little bit of a Cyan army coming from the left side of the map, so I'm going to have to be very aware of that. I'm also building another war factory, but I've just realised that, yeah, I'm not doing so well on ore. Well, I am now, but I wasn't at the time. And it looks like green is going to get wiped from this game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my troops in and try and attack Cyan while he's attacking green. You can see green doesn't have much, he doesn't have a war factory yet. And now it looks like green is pretty much out of the game. And you can see this Cyan army coming towards my base. So I've sort of done like a more of a conservative build order, where I've been focusing on my economy, so I don't have the tank numbers. I'm going to be putting some turrets and some base defences out on the map. And let's see what we can do here. You can see he's gone for my war factory. It looks like that's going to go down. And now he's going for my construction yard. And unfortunately, I don't have a great economy at the moment. That's been a little bit of a problem. I'm just going to build my ore refinery there. I've still got a couple more MCVs deployed though. So my building speed's still going to be okay. And we can see that Cyan army seems to be retreating at the moment. I've still got like a bit of a stronghold in the middle of the map. So I'm just going to bring my tanks forwards. I'm still building buildings. I've got my radar dome intact, and you can see green's got some infantry there, but I'm just going to ignore that for the time being. I've got some base defences low down. And we'll have to see what Cyan decides to do. We were chasing him back to his base, but he seems to be coming back with his light tanks. And let's see where he decides to attack. I've just got another war factory in this top part, so I can build my units quite close to the front. And now I'm going to start building some pillboxes. So you can see, yeah, those tanks coming in. I've got quite a number of tanks there. I've also got quite a number of pillboxes. And you can see now Cyan is getting his reinforcements into this top part of the map. So I'm just going to try and build some base defences around. And you can see he does have the better numbers at the moment, but the light tanks, they do have lower HP. And let's see if he's going to try what he's going to try and do. He looks to be going for the dive in, and he's trying to take out that war factory. And it does look like that war factory is unfortunately going to go down. I do have a lot of pillboxes in this section now, but they're a bit misplaced on the right side. And not in the best position for those light tanks. And now let's see, it looks like those light tanks are going to go for the bottom of the map. So they're going for the ore refinery. Well, ore refinery it looked like they were going for, but now they're going for the construction yards. I have got 3 at the moment, so that's all right. Just building another war factory there. And it looks like we're going to be able to deal with this army so far. We've still got 2 construction yards left. We've still got 2 war factories deployed as well. And yeah, you can see he's sort of like running a bit out of steam, and he's having to take those tanks back. Now the thing is, Cyan's been going for mainly buildings, and there's a little bit of an issue with that, because what happens is if you don't take if you're not taking out many tanks, the enemy gets to build up a lot of tanks, and that's what I've got at the moment. I've got an awful lot of tanks on the field, and yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking them to Cyan's base. We're just having a look, and I think he's in the top left-hand corner, so that's where I'm going to go next. But I'm going to have some tanks back to defend as well, because we can see some of those light tanks, and they're going for my radar dome, so I can't see what's going on. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave some tanks around the entrance to his base. We'll be able to take out those ore trucks. I'll also leave some tanks here. So I've left tanks at both entrances to his base. So if he doesn't sort of try and attack those tanks, what's going to happen is he's going to lose his economy. But now you can see me losing my last construction yard, and I'm going to need to make sure that I keep these war factories alive, because I am going to need those for extra MCVs later on. And now you can see us try to take out his ore trucks. He's got 2 ore trucks on low HP here, and it looks like those 3 ore trucks are going to go down. We did actually see, though, that earlier he did have an extra MCV, so he might be taking that to another part of the map. But yeah, he's lost his economy there. And now we're going to try and take out those war factories to reduce his tank building speed. And you can see him selling up some of his war factories there. And what that tells me is he might be trying to save up for a ore refinery at another part of the map, because you can see our tanks there have destroyed the ore trucks on that low ore patch as well. So yeah, not looking too bad at the moment. And you can see he just doesn't have the funds now or the production buildings to build as many light tanks. But it still looks like he's still going for those war factories in the bottom part of the map. But I do have a lot of tanks back at my base. And yeah, I'm trying to just see where his other construction yard is. But now you can see those light tanks now going for the war factories. But I do have an MCV out, and I'm going to take it further up the map. And it looks like this, just going to try, yeah, he's got a few light tanks there. This could be dangerous. You can see that war factory looks like it might go, although he's going for the ore refinery now, which is, what you should do is if you take a building to like yellow HP though, like that war factory is, it's usually best to like just complete it. I think what he's trying to do now is take out my economy, because his economy isn't doing so well. But I do have 3 MCVs out now, so once I get those deployed, I'll be able to start building my base back up. Just trying to find a little bit of room there, so I get that construction yard up there, and now I'm going to be able to get these construction yards up in the bottom of my base, and I'll be getting my radar dome built once again.
Construction complete.
And now we can see, what we can see with our radar dome is we can see that red is building out. So I think red's been camping a little bit. But now it seems like he's decided to go on the attack, and we can see those flame towers going up there. It looked like he had quite a decent building speed, so he's definitely gone for the multi-MCV tactic. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and find out where Cyan is first, because what last thing I want is a load of like tanks going into my base. I'm also going to take green out of the game at this point. Still has those infantry to the left of the map, but now green is officially been eliminated. I know there's an MCV for Cyan somewhere to the left of the map, so that's what I'm going to investigate first, and then I'm going to go to try and take out red. And there we can see it on our radar dome. We can see where his base is. He's got an ore refinery there, but we're just going to take that out. And you can see that ore truck going stationary because he doesn't have any other ore refineries on the map. And what I need to do now is it's just about preparing for the attack from red. I'm going to need to build some base defences just in case he has a really big army and takes it in. I'm also going to probably have a look at building some more MCVs in order to take them to the left side of the map. I'm also going to build a war factory because I've had less war factories. I've been stacking up the ore. I'm just having a bit of a look at Cyan there, but it doesn't look like he's got anything left. You can see those ore trucks still stranded across the map. And now I'm just getting a couple more war factories in, just so I can get those MCVs quite quickly, and also boost my tank numbers. So yeah, there I've got 4 war factories now, so that's going to give me a great building speed for tanks. And you can see my tank army is already large, so that's also going to help me quite a bit. And just build another MCV. I've got one to go to the left of the map and one to go to the bottom left of the map, because you can see there's a nice gem patch there as well. And now it's about whether I can defeat red or not. And you can see red has a big number of heavy tanks there, so the sleeping giant has awoken. It looks like his army's going to finish off Cyan, and I'm going to take my tanks to the sort of like inside of his base, because what I don't want him doing is coming down that left side of the map and taking out the MCVs that I've just deployed. So now we're going to go for his base. We've got power plants there. We've got some flame towers. You can see those flame towers. Some of them are on low HP from when he was in a fight earlier. So we're going to be able to take out those quite reasonably. And the thing about flame towers is they don't do too much damage, but they can hurt in large numbers, of course. And now you can see he's bringing his tanks back, and those heavy tanks coming in, but he's made a bit of a mistake here, because he's sort of like strewing out his army. So there's a few heavy tanks coming in at a time, and you can see as soon as his heavy tanks are going into this army, I'm managing to take out quite a bit, and just give me the number advantage early on. So we'll have to see, can this be maintained? I've also got a good building speed from having 4 war factories, so I'm going to have a lot of reinforcements also coming into this. So yeah, you can see this army, he's got some flame towers for defense as well. We'll manage to take out those quite quickly, and it's just my army against his. It's heavy tanks being medium tanks. I've got the better tank numbers, but the heavy tanks are a little bit stronger. They've got more HP and have a bit more damage output. I'm just trying to expand up there with my economy as well, but that doesn't seem to be working too well. And you can see the flame towers coming out, but those flame towers are not going to be enough, because now you can see that Red's army has been completely almost wiped out. And he's got a lot of war factories here, but I don't think that's going to be enough. My tank mass is just too large, and there's just nothing that Red is going to be able to do in this position. And you can see those ore refineries are going to go down, those war factories are going to go down as well, and we can see that he's been isolated to a small part of the map, which isn't obviously very good when you want to, in these late game scenarios. I've got a lot of map control, I've got a good economy behind me, I've got good tank production, so there's going to be, I can't see any way that Red can come back into this game. I think Red's big mistake there was when he brought his tanks back, he sent them straight in, and he had a large army, but if you take just a few tanks in at a time, what happens is you lose, it's very inefficient, and you lose a lot of tanks by doing that. There's also Cyan earlier in the game, and you can see Red sending some tanks in, but that number of tanks is just not going to be enough to be able to defend, and he's going to need some sort of Tesla fortress to stop this charge, which I don't think he has. in his main base. And the thing about Cyan was Cyan just went for buildings, and if you don't get out enough of the main buildings, the production buildings like war factories, I mean, he did manage to get my construction yards out, but that was very late on when my tanks were already in his base and taking out his economy. And the thing is, because Cyan just kept on attacking buildings, my army just grew larger and larger and larger, and I ended up with a large number of tanks on the map, whereas Cyan didn't have many because he kept on losing them. Red was minding his own business most of this game, but then when he had a large economy and a large army, he did expand outwards, so at least he didn't wait, he didn't just camp until one of us was eliminated. He did go for the attack on Cyan, but probably should have attacked me because I was in the dominant position at the time, and there we could see all his construction yards deployed. So yeah, he's still trying to fight this with his tanks, but it's been called good game, and there's no way he's going to be able to win this, and it's just a last Hail Mary with all his units going in, and it's nowhere near going to be enough. I think I've actually forgot to build tanks here. Oh no, I'm actually building something, possibly. Anyway, we're taking out those war factories. He's got a large number there. He's got some oil refineries there, and it's over. This map quite often lends itself to good fights. You usually have a fight over the resources in the middle of the map because everyone wants to get that big gem and ore patch. Anyway, that's a good game now, so hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.